Hello again, Abby and Delaney, here to talk to you all again about another artist who explores identity in their artwork.
In this tour video, we are going to continue talking about some of the same points about identity and color, but using a different artist, Jess Dugan. This is another online exhibition on the Gregory Allicar Museum website. Something that Dugan focuses on in their work is portraiture.
Jess Dugan is an American photographer. They have 3 different college degrees. Does anyone know what college is?
Just like our video on Ben Don, we are going to give you some time to think about your answers to our questions. Feel free to pause the video and take as much time as you want to think about your answer before going on.
College is a higher level of education where people go and learn about what job they want to do. I want to be an art teacher, so I'm in college at CSU to be an art teacher. There are different types of degrees in college, and each one means something different. Jess Dugan received a Master of Fine Arts in Photography from Columbia College in Chicago, a Master of Liberal Arts in Museum Studies from Harvard, and their Bachelor of Fine Arts in Photography from Massachusetts College of Art and Design. Each of these degrees means different things in the college world. They use all of these degrees throughout their work. What kind of work do you want to do when you grow up? I always wanted to be a teacher when I was little, and here I am studying to be a teacher. As we dive into their work, they focus a lot on exploring their identity through portraiture.
Can anyone tell me what a portrait is? A portrait is a photograph, painting, or drawing of a person in which their face and expression are the most important elements of the piece. Portraits are meant to show personality or identity through the artwork. What personalities do you think the people in these portraits have? I think the first woman looks wise and mysterious. I think the child in the middle looks serious and intense. And I think the lady on the end looks silly and goofy.
Does anyone know what a selfie is? Has anyone ever taken a selfie? I like to take selfies. I think they can be really fun and they can create memories. How do you pose or smile for a camera? Can you do your pose right now? I always like to make a silly face.
As we talked about earlier, Jess Dugan focuses a lot of their work on portraits, and they like to photograph friends or family in their community. Dugan cuts their portraits down to the bare essentials. They do not use props or sets to show the identity and humanity of the subjects. Jess Dugan also only uses natural light for their photographs, only showing what is there in the photograph, getting to what is there in the moment, and seeing their subjects in a vulnerable state.
What do you notice is different from this portrait to others you have seen? I see that the person in this portrait is lying down instead of sitting up. How do you think this portrait compares to the portrait of the Buddha by Ben Don? In the portrait of the Buddha, the figure is sitting up and tall and straight, making it seem more serious. In Shabbos, the subject is lying down and very relaxed. We feel comforted in both pieces, one for being a religious figure and the other for being relaxed, like they're about to fall asleep.
What colors do you see in this piece? How do they differ from Ben Don's colors? I see a lot of light and a lot of dark colors, and not much in between. Ben Don's artwork with the leaf was similar in that it didn't have many colors, besides green and yellow. But the portrait of the Buddha had a lot more colors to it.
So far, we have talked about how portraits look of people and how they stand out through color, contrast, emphasis, and lighting. Now we're going to discuss how a portrait can be of other things, but how those same elements and principles affect the photographs.
What do you think are the identities of the subjects in these portraits? I think the husky looks majestic and like royalty. The building looks proud and tall, and the flowers look delicate and fancy. What do you think people can tell from looking at a portrait of you? I think from most of my portraits, you can tell I am a nice and goofy person. How do you think these flowers are similar to Bin Don's leaf piece? Try to think back about the circle of life. Similar to Bin Don's piece, these flowers are going brown and starting to wilt like they are dying. What do you think these flowers are feeling? Have you ever felt like a fallen petal? I think the flowers are feeling sad and droopy. I know I felt like this when my family had to put our dog down. It was very sad, and I felt droopy when that happened.
Different colored flowers have different meanings, such as red roses meaning love or romance, and yellow roses meaning friendship. Do you like spending time with your friends? I love spending time with my friends. One of my favorite things to do with them is play games like cards or Mario Kart. What do you think the colors of the roses in Jess Dugan's piece mean? To me, the roses look dark and red and purple, so that could mean love or creativity.
How are the colors in this photograph similar to Shabaz's bed? How are they different? Like Shabaz's bed, the colors are very natural because of the natural light that Dugan uses. There are lots of light lights and dark darks. However, in this piece, the flowers bring a bit more color, such as purples, reds, pinks, and greens.
When looking at a portrait, whether it's of a person, animal, or plant, we're able to think about how this picture relates back to identity. Because Jess Dugan uses natural lighting, no props or sets, we gain a better sense of the identity of Shabaz as well as the roses. There are no barriers between the viewer, us, and the subjects of the piece.
We have explored identity in a couple different ways now, through a couple of different artists. Both Bin Don and Jess Dugan have been able to investigate their identities through their artwork. Bin Don has found a new and innovative way to print photos from war onto leaves and explore portraiture through religious figures. Similarly, Jess Dugan plays with portraiture, but does so by getting down to who a person really is. We can tell a lot about her subjects looking at their photographs, even the ones that are not human.